first, let's get into some techniques. Before we do that, we have to remind you that this is not designed to make you a first responder. So always remember to put your own safety first. You need to back up to have room if you're with someone in person. Also, know your limits. Know when you can no longer handle the situation or feel safe, and then call for help if that's the situation that you feel like you're in. And these techniques that we're about to share with you, you can use them in both your personal and your professional lives. So this is very applicable, and especially in today's day and age, this could be life-saving. Some of the things that we can do here, though, is to respond with empathy, and particularly you representing the lawyer in your firm. You're likely the first one that's going to hear these complaints before the lawyer, and saying something with empathy really makes all the difference in the world. How you say things and then what you say. Something like, if they're yelling at you or yelling, something that that has worked that we recommend is, I'm trying to help you, but the language is getting in the way. Not your language, but the language is getting in the way, is something that's helpful. And also give them choices. Saying things like, I can either help you now, or you can call me back when you're calmed down. What is your preference?
Yeah, that the empathy one is it has to be authentic. And sometimes that's hard when we're not relating to the way that this person is responding to the circumstance. And so that gets into kind of our next set of things, which is really watching for what feeling is behind this. And a lot of the time it boils down to fear and lack of control. I feel like I don't have control of this situation, and I'm really afraid about what's going to happen. And if you just think from that perspective, I think all of us can have a human response. The other day, I got a question about from at AILA that clearly I don't know what the conversation was like, but it sounded very tense. I could just tell in this email communication to me that this person had had a really tough conversation where maybe there were some language barriers and they weren't even fully understanding what this lawyer needed. But it came down to there was a complaint about the lawyer. And I think that what I tried to do is, because it finally got to me and I'm the right person for them to talk to. And I said, yeah, sometimes lawyers are really, really tense when it comes to things like this because it's their license is in jeopardy. And I tried to interject that. So if you're wondering, why is everybody so uptight about this? And you don't relate to it, hey, ask your supervisor, what is it? What is it about this that is getting to people so much?
Mm.
Another thing that this is where this is a good lesson for me is ignoring those challenging questions, because sometimes they're really just doing some unhealthy communication habits of demanding something that you can't give. Like, I noticed that several of those things are about the government, not about us, not about the law office. What can the law office do? We're really at the behest of the government and what they're going to do. Well, that's kind of good news too. It's bad news because the government is behind and it has a million case backlog, but it's good news because you can say, I am frustrated as well. And then ignore, right? Once you have confirmed who the true culprit is and they still continue to blame, then just ignore it and try and go towards something that's productive. Um, I love this permitting silence. I'm not always great at it, but there really is no better way to not take the bait than to go quiet and calm.